mean, I don't care. It's like my gym cup.
It's a styrofoam Coca-Cola. Get it out of the shot.
It's free advertisement.
It's not cool. Okay, that's good.
All right, guys. The second episode, the only thing that's different is that I'm in the kitchen and I'm a little tipsy because I had a couple glasses of wine from dinner. So my videographer is behind here. Paige is going to ask the questions.
It's fine.
And yeah, we'll get going. So,
what is the best pre and post workout meal easily available for those who cannot afford protein powder?
All right, so you don't necessarily need protein before you work out. That's not going to like benefit you any more than if you didn't have it. I would say if you need something that's going to help fuel you throughout your workout, anything that's hot, like a starchy carb, like rice, potatoes. Personally, I go to the gym like midday and I don't really eat a whole lot until afterwards, but before I go, I'll have a bowl of oats with like some peanut butter. Both oats and peanut butter are super cheap. If you can't afford protein powder, I don't know, protein powder is pretty cheap for if you can get a good brand compared to just like meat protein. So yeah, I would say some oats and some peanut butter. And like today I threw a protein bar in there and it was awesome. So if you can't afford that, then maybe bodybuilding and working out are not really for you. Maybe you should save your money and do something else. Best way
to weigh food, raw or cooked?
So always weigh your food raw. Reasons being that when you cook stuff, obviously it loses a lot of the like water and some of the nutrients. Obviously nutrients aren't going to weigh more when you try to portion them out. I weigh stuff out after it's cooked just so I can know that I'm putting the right amount in everything. But when I'm cooking it, I want to make sure that I weigh it in the raw form so I know, especially your meat protein, that I'm cooking the amount that I want to cook. And then once it's cooked, I'll, not just depending on how seriously I need to break it up, I'll weigh it after it's cooked just so I know that it's the right amount per little container.
Question number 4. Do you find eating properly and getting enough protein in your diet is a daunting task, or am I just being a lazy piece of shit?
Two-way street. So for me, in a bulk phase, trying to be 200 plus pounds, eating 200 plus grams of protein per day is a daunting task. It is hard as shit. Like, if you know how much 200 grams of protein is, just through food alone without supplementation, it's a lot of fucking food. That's why like I have to have some kind of protein supplement, whether it be a powder or a bar, something throughout the day to help me get in that protein without the volume of food and the amount of calories that come with it. If you're like a smaller person or a female, say you're a female weighing 110, 115 pounds and you're trying to hit that protein goal, you're kind of being a puss if you can't hit 100 grams of protein per day. That's pretty easy, especially if you're using supplementation to get to that number. If you're, a scoop of protein, usually 25 grams of protein, that's a fourth of your intake through the day, and you can mix it with a cup of water, drink it, you're done. That's not going to affect you, like, you're going to be able to eat whatever you want throughout the day after that. But bigger guy, like if you look at guys that are world's strongest man, like the Mountain, Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw, those guys that are pushing 350, 400 pounds, I couldn't even imagine how much food they have to intake to get in that protein level, protein amount per day. So it just depends. Yeah, it's a daunting task. For me personally, it's a daunting task at this weight, trying to get bigger. But yeah, it just depends on, I guess, you and your situation, what your goals are.
All right. Question number 4. Is it bad when I go over my macros on a day, but on healthy food?
No, not at all. The only thing that if you go over your macros, you're just putting down more calories. So if you're trying to cut and you're trying to stay in that deficit and you go over your macros, that probably means you're going to go over your caloric intake. And if you go over your caloric intake, obviously you're not going to be in your deficit. So that's just a day that you're not going to be in that deficit. You're not going to you're not going to lose anything that day. You're just going to probably maintain. It's probably not going to affect you that much. So no, it's not a bad thing at all. If anything, it's just going to put a couple more calories in your belly.
Question number 5. BFR brands. Don't know what that is.
Bands. Say brands.
BFR bands.
Girl can't even read.
And your input.
So yeah, BFR, blood flow restriction training. It's actually something that I've wanted to do for a long time. A couple guys that I look up to and that I follow, they have done it and they really have enjoyed it and they've got some great progress. I could go into all like what it does and how it affects you. What it does, it makes the training a lot more intense because you're cutting off that blood flow. You're cutting off that, not cutting off the circulation, but it is going to make the training a lot more intense, and it's just a different style of training. It's a good way to maximize the efficiency of your workout. You can get the workouts done in a quicker amount of time just because your muscles are having to work that much harder to pump the blood through. So I've actually I had a guy reach out, a guy that I've gotten to know over the past couple of years, and he is starting a BFR company, like a strapless company. So I'm very interested in trying. I've been wanting to try it for years. So if you follow me and you're going to continue following me, I'm probably going to do a BFR split, maybe a few weeks from now, probably 3 or 4 weeks from now, just depending on which bands I order. But it's something interesting if you want to try it. If you've never done it, maybe just wait till I go through it if you follow me enough, and I'll let you know how it is. You can see how intense the training is, and yeah, you can make your own judgment from there. But I think it's a great thing. I think it's just a new, different way to kind of change things up. So positive.
Should you stretch when working out before or after a workout? Or no stretching at all?
So stretching, it's kind of a debated topic, I guess, more nowadays than it has been. There's studies, if you follow Steffi Cohen, she goes into a lot of detail about how like the biomechanics of everything work and how it affects you throughout your training and whether you should do it or not. And she wrote or did a post recently about stretching and how it's actually more of a neurological response when you stretch. If you have a limited amount of mobility, it's because it's a neurological adaptation telling you that you just can't make that movement tight. It's not because your muscles are tight or they're lacking that elasticity. It's that it's your brain telling you like, okay, you don't usually go this far, essentially. I stretch before I work out. I don't really do a whole lot of stretching afterwards or during my workout. I don't go too crazy with the stretching. If I know I'm working a muscle group that's going to work with whatever muscle group I'm working, so say I'm doing a shoulder workout, then I'll probably stretch my arms out a little bit, stretch my chest out, just because all those muscles in your upper body are probably going to have something to do with a movement that you do shoulder wise. But it's not something necessary that you have to do. If you're not super intense in your training, you're probably not going to need to stretch. It's not going to affect you worse or better if you're not stretching or stretching before you work out, after you work out. When I ran track for a lot of years, that was a big emphasis in stretching before and after, but that's obviously a little bit different than weight training. So to answer, I guess, in a yes or no kind of fashion, it'd be like, no, it's not absolutely necessary. You can do just fine without stretching. And I think a lot of it kind of has to do with like a placebo effect. So you stretch and it feels good, so you're like, oh man, I feel better. I'm not going to be injured, and that's just not the case. There's no science that's going to back that says stretching is going to actually prevent any injury from happening. So, yeah.
Okay. What is your go-to healthy snack?
Go-to healthy snack.
Waffle House.
I do love some Waffle House, but that's not, I guess, a snack. It's going to be my honey roasted peanuts. That's going to be my healthy snack. I love peanuts. I love peanut butter. I have these Emerald brand honey roasted peanuts. They're like Virginia peanuts, so they're larger and crunchier than regular peanuts, and they're amazing. They're like little balls of crack cocaine. I love them so much. And yeah, that'd probably be my go-to healthy snack. If I had a bag of them. I'd pull it out and show you, but I don't have a bag, so.
All right, question number 8. Your thoughts on overtraining?
Overtraining, serious thing. And if you don't know what overtraining is, or if you've never heard it, it's something that you definitely need to take into account. Overtraining is essentially just what the term is. You're training too much, and it's going to prevent you from making the gains that you're looking to make. It's something that I did not take into account for a long time, which is kind of shitty because looking back, I feel like I wasted a lot of time and energy working out or doing other activities, physical activity on top of my workouts that were holding me back from actually making the progress that I wanted to, and I was just exhausting myself for no reason, essentially, and just wearing myself down. So it is a big problem. I think more people have a problem with overtraining than they realize. And sometimes I catch myself in that phase still. I'll be like, all right, I've been going hard, but like maybe I want to keep going. But you have to realize that like your body doesn't grow when you're training, when you're working out. Like, yeah, you're tearing the muscle apart, but when you're actually growing and your muscles are recovering is when you're not training. And that's when you're actually growing. That's when you're actually going to receive the benefits from working out. So when your body needs that rest and is wanting that rest, if you're pushing it too hard and you're doing too much, then it's not going to get that rest that it needs, and it's not going to grow. You're just literally going to be overtraining. So yeah, if you don't realize that you're overtraining, take a week off, see how your body feels after that week off, and then go work out again, and you'll be like, damn, I'm like stronger than I was a week ago and I haven't done shit for a week. And it's probably because you're overtraining a little bit.
Question number 9. How do you make leftovers and meal preps taste better?
I think this was Corey Gregg, my little bro. What's up, Corey?
Sauce.
Yeah, sauce. Literally all it is. Like, I'm a big sauce guy. You gotta be careful. If you're in a cut, you're probably just gonna have to suck it up, fucking eat, plain Jane food a lot of the time, unless you got a recipe book that teaches you how to cook low calorie stuff that's good, that tastes good. But yeah, throw some sauce on stuff, man. Like, I use tiger sauce. If you don't know what tiger sauce is, it goes good on a lot of stuff. Maybe not steak. Go in there and pull it
Tiger
up.
sauce.
It's in the door. It's a little bottle, green label. Should be. Pull that kombucha out too. 'Cause I'll say a little something like that. See, that's kombucha.
Which is good for you.
So while Paige is looking for the tiger sauce, I love kombucha, and a lot of the ones that I drink are really, really good. And I've had really good ones from this 221 brand, but this June honey matcha is awful. This is the worst tasting kombucha I've ever had. Like, it tastes like ass. It's literally been in my fridge for like 2 weeks because it's awful. But they have really good ones, which was really upsetting. Because one, I love honey, I love matcha, but together in this, fucking awful. But okay, so here's the tiger sauce. One of my boys, Zach, actually put me on this years ago, and it's so good. All right, so yeah, good for meat, seafood, anything else you can stand up to the sweet heat. So yeah, it's kind of a sweeter, spicier sauce. It's almost like a sweet and sour kind of sauce, just without
Bring it in close.
Without the sour. Tiger sauce.
There you go.
So per tablespoon, actually it's in teaspoons, it's only 10 calories. So I'll dump this on shit. Hot sauce is another great sauce, like Crystal, Sriracha, anything like that. That's gonna flavor it up a little bit. But yeah, throw some sauce on that, Corey. If that doesn't work, man, I don't know. Get the 0 calorie butter. Just butter the hell out of stuff. Put some salt and pepper on it.
10. How can I lose chest and stomach fat?
All right. So I get asked this all the time, whether it's your midsection, your legs, your chest, your arms, like what exercise can I do? What can I do to lose fat in a certain area? And the question, or the answer is, there's nothing that you can do specifically to target fat loss in a specific area. You have to be in a caloric deficit to lose body fat. That is just 101 when it comes to getting, losing body fat, trimming down. If you're carrying weight in different areas of your body, that's just because that's who you are. For females, most females carry their weight in their hips and their butt. That's just how it is. If you're a female, if you're a male, you usually carry it in your midsection and your trunk. That's why you see a lot of guys when they get older, they got big old bellies. And that's because that's where men typically hold a lot more of their body fat. So, but you could be the exception where you got real big saggy arms, and that's because that's just where your body naturally carries a little bit more body fat, and there's nothing you can do about it. And like for me, I know when I'm cutting down, I'm just, I guess, pretty typical body type, that when so both directions, when I gain weight and lose weight, last place is to come off is my belly. First place that pops out is my belly. Like right now, my sister literally told me it looked like I was pregnant and I had tits the other day because I've gained so much weight, which is like, it's fair, but it's not very accurate. but yeah, there's nothing you can do. You just kind of have to get in that deficit. If you don't know how to get in the caloric deficit for you, figure it out. Maybe send me a message. I'll try to help you a little bit. And it's not hard though. It's not hard to stay in a caloric deficit to get the fat loss that you want. You just have to stay consistent with it, and that's where you're going to see that body fat drop off from. So yeah, there's nothing you can do except figure out how to get in a deficit of calories and then stay consistent with it, and then hopefully over time. And if you train, it could just be that you're also lacking a lot of muscle in that particular area. So say you've just never really trained your arms, you're probably gonna have more fat than muscle in your arms if you're kind of a skinny fat kind of person, I guess. But yeah, just start training those muscles more, and then you'll hopefully replace the fat with muscle, and that'll kind of help you have a little bit more definition and not be so soft and flappy. You can just have a little bit more muscularity about yourself. So yeah.
11. Do you do more volume in a session than the general 6 exercises that you show?
Great question. Sometimes the answer is yes, most time is no. So when I post my workouts, it is what I did for that day. And that comes down to every rep, every set, everything. I don't want to put stuff out there that's not true of what I'm doing, because that's what I'm doing to get the body that I have. I actually had someone the other day, he was like, I can't imagine when your body's gonna crumble after all this volume that you do. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like somebody who actually hasn't developed the body or muscularity to be able to go through that much volume. So no, I don't usually do more than what I post. If I do, it's either because I couldn't get the shot, there's people in my way, or I couldn't, or I forgot. Sometimes I'll just straight up forget to record one of the exercises that I do. If that's the case, I'll usually write it in the comments or in the caption. I'll say, oh, I did this, but I also supersetted it with this, that, and the other thing. And I try to do that. But yeah, I don't usually post, or I do usually post everything that I do. Some days are going to be lighter than others. Some days I'll take it a little bit lighter in my training than most days. And if that's the case, yeah, there'll be 5 or 6 exercises, maybe even 4. Sometimes if I am training a singular muscle group, like today I did a very quad focused leg workout, I did not do any hamstrings or glute workouts. And yeah, I did 4 things, and I can barely friggin' walk right now. So it just depends on what it is, what type of training I guess I'm doing for that day, that session. And yeah, so I try to be as transparent as I can with my workouts for you guys.
Last question. What drives you to be the best that you can be every day?
Great question. I wish that some people would submit more questions like this, just because it's a little bit different. It doesn't have to do everything with training. It's just a different way to get to know me a little bit better, get to know yourself. But what drives me to be the best thing I am every day? It's not, if I had a family, had kids, I'd be trying to do everything I could to be the best supporter, father, dad, husband that I possibly could. That would probably be my main motivation. But young single guy, what drives me is where I want to be at the end of the day. And that doesn't mean just day over day. I have goals in place, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, where I see myself being and what I want to achieve for myself. And I'm a very big believer in consistency and compounding interest, and you have to do things day over day to be able to achieve the things that you want down the line. And if you take time off, then it's just going to hold you back from getting there. So, and I know, especially because in this world of fitness, there's no results that happen overnight, in a week, in a month, and if they do, they're very, very minimal. But to see a large amount of change in your physique and just almost anything in life, like my training business. I started my training business less than a year ago, and I know that 3 months into it, I wasn't going to be Jeff Bezos, being the richest guy in the world off my training business, but it was going to take time and effort and staying consistent with it to actually grow it to a point where I was going to get the results that I wanted and have it grow to somewhere that I want it to be. So same thing with what drives me every day is just continually wanting to get better, just be a better person across the line as far as my emotional health, my mental health, my physical health, my business, everything that encapsulates who I am is what I want to continue to grow and push myself towards. And I have an idea of who I want to be at the end of the day and the type of person that I want to be. And if I don't do the little things every day that are going to help me get to that point, then it's gonna make me sad. It's gonna hold me back. So that's what drives me is just knowing where I want to be and what I want to achieve in life and what's gonna ultimately make me happy. That's what drives me to be the best person that I am. Nobody gave me a clever nickname or a name for these little talks. So please shoot me a name. I don't know what I'll do about it. Maybe Paige will come up with a name, maybe not, but
I'll have a think.
We need to brainstorm some ideas.
I know.
Paige Turner Travels.
Amazing.
Yeah, shoot me some names. Like it'd be fun. I just want to hear funny names. I don't care if they're stupid, if they're silly. If they're funny, then maybe I'll make that the name of these. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, like it, comment it, share it.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah, I'm going to try to throw these on my YouTube channel so people can have more stuff to watch on my YouTube channel instead of just on the gram. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like I said, I'm going to try to push these out maybe once a week. So
by the next episode, we'll have a name.
By the next episode, we'll have a name.
Yeah.
We'll have a name. That's goal for episode 3. So thanks for watching. Tune in next time.
Peace. Wait, how do you end this?
It's on the side.
It's at the back.
It's a little side button.
Wait, is it this one?